Good morning. Morning, Lee.
Hey, Harlan, how are you? Good morning.
I'm doing well. I've got a column here blocking the sun
Oh, man.
on the porch. It'll rise up
Strategic.
here. It'll rise up here in a bit. But nice to be able to sit out this morning. We've had some wonderful weather here.
Yeah, it is nice. I got my doors open, my screen's open.
Yay. Yay. Well, we'll see who joins us this morning. This should be good.
I have somebody I want to send you their contact information.
Okay.
It's a client of mine that I've worked with for a couple of years that is very interested in doing some apartments.
Good.
And
Okay.
you're still in that space, right? That's
yeah.
your.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I really think you guys should talk. I'll send you his contact information.
Good. Good. Thank you. Morning, Lila.
Good morning,
Hey, John.
Harlan, Lee.
Hey, John, good
Lila.
morning.
Yay. So I'm assuming that we've gotten all the connections
How
with
we doing this
Claudette.
morning?
Yeah.
I don't think, that's fine.
Lee, I know you've sent things to Claudette and Lila has. Do y'all have all those in place with her as much as you know?
Yeah, we sent a bunch of photos, communicated with her a couple of times yesterday.
Okay. Did you get a confirmation back she'd received it? I just hadn't.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, good. Good.
I just got an email from Claudette. She said that she's having some technical issues with Lila's video.
Oh, great. Okay.
They're
That
having some
happens.
technical issues with the video. She said Lila may be a little late. Well, Lila's here.
Yeah.
Yeah, my daughter's working on it. Good morning.
And
Oh,
Claudette's
okay.
a little late. We'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. Hey, Diane.
Yeah, she's apparently the OneDrive doesn't allow me to share a link that we use for radar. And so she's putting it on my personal drive so that she can share the link.
Okay. We'll figure it out. We'll make it
Oh,
work.
good morning.
Good
Yes.
morning.
It
Good
is.
morning, Lila.
It is. And we are here. We'll see who else joins us. Here come the Bogdanoviches. And
Okay.
Diane, it's all yours. I'll just keep bringing people in here. So
Okay. Good morning,
Hi.
everybody. How's that? I can barely see. Is that Al or Jay?
audio's not quite connected there for them.
Not connected yet. Okay.
There they are. Looks like Al.
Looks like
Huh?
Al. Hi, Al. How you doing? Lee is on. I don't see him yet, but he's here.
Al, you need to get a haircut.
Uh-huh.
Here comes a
Morning.
troublemaker.
Yeah, Lila, we're really excited about your first one, right?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's the first one. We're hoping to maybe be done in a week or so.
Wow.
Well, so
Yeah,
you're right
I
on
think
target,
total
aren't
would
you?
be 6 weeks.
So that
if
moves
we
pretty
succeed.
quickly, actually, right?
Yes.
Right on schedule. Good morning. How are you?
There's Masood.
Masood.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Hey.
Morning, Sid.
I was just telling Lee there, I'm sitting in a shadow this morning because if I get over here, the sun's in my face.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
The videos are there.
Out
My
on the
daughter said
porch,
the videos are
right,
there.
yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Are you out on that porch? Are you out on that porch?
East facing porch here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice morning.
I bet you're glad to finally be in that house, huh?
We are. We've been in a month now. It's kind of hard to believe.
1 month.
I saw the pictures there. It's beautiful.
It's a great home, and
Yeah.
it's full of boxes right now. We're still unpacking. we're making it.
It takes time.
So you're having leisurely memories opening up the boxes, right?
It is.
I'm
It
seeing
is.
your posts every day.
Yeah, it is fascinating opening up things we haven't seen in years and being
Yeah.
reminded of it. Here comes Claudette.
All right, good. Steve is here. He's on video or on audio, not on video. Good morning. How are you?
Got an email from Ron that he and Fran are out of town.
Yeah,
Okay.
so they won't be joining us.
Claudette just woke up, it looks like, so. Yeah.
Well, it
2
is
hours.
7 o'clock out
7
there,
o'clock
you
in the
know.
morning,
We're not being very nice to her.
She's trying to connect her audio.
Yeah,
Mhm.
she's having a little slow connection this morning. It'll make it.
Yeah, and she said they had some new, they were waiting for some new equipment and something that they've been doing.
Yep.
So,
And we've got a great program coming up 1st of December there on multifamily with the leader of the multifamily group at CFRI that will be sharing with us, Phil George. He's got a long history in multifamily, working one up in New York State right now. So he's very good.
Great.
It's like we got a new member coming in here. So Diane, take it and run, whatever. We're a little after, and we just got to get Claudette to get on here, huh?
Okay, well, while we're waiting for Claudette, we can, Lila, tell us a little bit about this house. Where is it? How big is it? How did you
Okay,
find it?
well, the house is about 1,820 square feet. We did find it, my partner, she's a realtor. We've been friends for years. And we decided to just team up. I mean, what better combination, the realtor with the lender, and just 2 women, and decide to let's go at this. Is something that's been on my bucket list to do. And so she found it in the MLS. It was a home that was actually, the children had inherited the home. There were a lot of legal issues. So the realtor that was selling it actually had to be the magistrate to represent and make decisions on the home.
Mhm.
So it was in poor condition. It's a home that was only one owner. Apparently the father passed away years ago, and I believe one of the daughters was living in the home. And the home was not being maintained at all. It was truly in poor condition.
So nobody had been living in it for a while?
She had been living in it for a while. But they had no insurance on the home. I don't know what the financial situation was, but there was no insurance on the home. And so there were roof leaks. The house had just deteriorated. It's built in 1974. And so we purchased the home, and we had, we had a lot of visions for the home. And as we started, dealing with the budget, some of those visions got cut down. And became more realistic.
Smaller and smaller, and necessary gets bigger and bigger.
Yes, and it's in Deltona, the home. So, you have to take a lot of things into consideration too. You have to take where, you guys are experienced in that. So, you have to take where, the property is actually located. Are you going to get the value back and so forth? How much can you really put into this home? But we've done tremendous. It's night and day from where we first purchased the home. So we put a new roof on it. That was one of the first things that we didn't know about the home. We had like a list of things that we knew that needed to be done with the home. For example, it was obvious that the roof had to be replaced. The AC was original, so that had to be replaced. We knew we had to update the electrical box because it was, oh my God, I forgot the name of it. Something Pacific, Florida, no.
Federal Pacific.
Federal Pacific, yes. So that needed to be updated. We had a lot of issues with shrubbery and overgrown trees overlapping the roof that were encumbering the area. So that needed to be dealt with as well. We had plumbing. I'm trying to think of what else. We had, there was a sheetrock we knew we were going to have to tear out. The kitchen had to be updated. Bathrooms were very in poor condition, so they needed to be updated. So, yeah, you start to look at the project and you start to say, oh, okay, I know this needs to be done. But when you start to get into it, you start realizing, wow, there's really, there's a lot more behind the wall and everything that you need to deal with. So, so we did encounter a lot of that.
How much did you initially estimate for repairs?
So our initial budget was about 48,000. And realistically, I figured we probably, we wanted to stay at 48 or below, thinking that we'd probably be at like 55, around there. And I think that's exactly where we're at as of today. We've been very cost conscious. I'm a very good shopper, so that's been very helpful because my background is in interior design. So the ability to put something together and be able to kind of be cost conscious and still bring the look, the design concept together, I think is what was achieved here. So, that's something that it's really been a little bit challenging because, when certain things popped up in the project and in regard to the budget, then I had to come back and, relook at everything from a different perspective. We originally
I share your pain there. My background is interior design as well.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
And so
Let me back up a minute. And when you bought the house, even though it was in MLS
Yeah.
So were you able to get a really good price on it, or how did you structure the deal?
So there were a couple of offers on the home. We originally went in at 150. And I think what put us over is first, the listing agent was a really nice gentleman. And he felt that the other offers were coming from other investors that had not seen or walked the property. And therefore he eliminated them immediately. And we had gone to the property. So that was one of the things that was in our favor. Second, my partner, who's a realtor, what she did was she eliminated her commission portion. So that allowed some, leeway there in terms of accepting our offer. So we went in at 150. And then when we were about to close on the property, I'd say about a couple of days right before we were about to close, we found out it was in a flood zone, and that just changed everything. And what happened is that the original owners could have been grandfathered into a policy with FEMA, which would have been extremely low. The neighbor next door is paying I want to say $299 or less than $500 for an annual policy. And because the home had no insurance, we were now looking at a policy of $2,000 as an annual policy. So that became of great concern to me as a lender, knowing that realistically it might be and in purchasing the home, an additional payment for mortgage insurance can be upwards of $150 or more just for the flood insurance. And, that's going to make that can really sway a buyer to go to a different home.
Sure.
That they don't have to pay their homeowner's insurance and they can get more house for the money in that situation. So we were going to back out of the deal. And I told the agent that my partner and I stated that we would not purchase the home no more than 130,000 because we need to have some leeway there if we need to be able to. And the home needed a lot of repairs in case we had to pay for closing costs and so forth. So we wind up settling.
Did you have an inspection, Lila?
We did. We had a home inspection. Needless to say, I don't think I'd have the same inspector again. It was a home inspector that for the foremost, I think that he pointed out a lot of a lot of things. However, I think there were some critical things that he really needed to bring to our attention, because it was an investment and he knew we were purchasing as an investment. And so those things became issues later on as after we purchased a home. You know, example, electrical became a major issue. That was, we knew it was an old panel and we knew we had to replace it. So that was fine. We were going in with that. What we didn't know was that we were going to encounter aluminum wiring in the home. And what we also realized, or he brought to our attention, was half the house was copper, half was aluminum. And so now we were going to have to look at a rewire. We were going to have to look at a lot of different things that we were going to have to tackle with this. And, you know, that's something that if we had known from the very beginning, we would have, even in dealing with the electrical contractor, would have budgeted completely different, because now that was more, you know, a larger scope of work that we needed to deal with. And that wasn't really brought to our attention in that in per se.
So did you rewire or did you do the Illumicon connectors?
We did the Illumicons, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, we were in the middle. What happened was also he had changed out the panel. The panel was put in brand new. So he had completed his portion. And now as he was dealing with some of the outlets, it came to fruition that we had now aluminum wiring on the other part of the house. So the house has an addition. The owner put in an addition to the home. So if you look at the home, the Florida room, I believe, was always original. That was original. And so what he did was he squared it off. He squared off that portion of the house, and he enlarged the master bedroom, and he created a larger kitchen and laundry room. So that portion of the home was all copper. The other portion of the home, which is original, was all aluminum. So now we had to purchase all these Illumicons, which I think I gained my apprenticeship in electricity, because I had to learn how to put some of those Illumicons on. So that was a little challenging. Yeah, we had a lot of electrical. On top of it, the owner, the original owner, I think this was like his personal toy house, because he just had such a mess when it came to wiring. I mean, it was just a mess. We had wires hanging that as we pulled them, found out there was no connection to the wires. Then we had wires that we didn't know where they were connected to, that the, you know, electrician had to find. We had certain outlets that were always hot, actual switch that would turn them on or off.
Find a lot of
We
that
had
in
to deal
older
with some of
houses.
those things.
So you find a lot of that in older houses. So
Yes.
your electrical contractor pulled the permit and did the rewire.
So we didn't have to rewire half the house.
What
But
they did all
he
the
pulled
connecting
permits
and
for yes, he did pull the permits, absolutely, for putting in the new box and so forth. And then after we actually removed it, you'll see in the original pictures, there was an entertainment center there that was built in by the owner. And our intention was nostalgically to try and keep the entertainment center there, plus cost effective. But because right behind that wall, we have the AC, which was leaking, original AC was leaking into the sheetrock for a good amount of time. We had to tear out the sheetrock, and to make sure that we didn't have any mold issues or anything like that, we now had to tear out the entertainment center. So it actually became a good thing, because, and seeing the open walls, you know, it was like immediate that we'd said we should enlarge the master shower. I mean, the master shower was like 2 by 5. So it's one of those, you would just stand there and you couldn't really turn around. And now the master shower is huge. So, you know, our contract, we work with the contractor. He, you know, he moved the drain pipe over. He reframed the wall.
Right.
So, and at that point, we had some issues, because the electrician had already put the panel on the wall, because we
Lila, I
were
have the PowerPoint ready to share here. If you'd like me to put it up, I'll put the PowerPoint up and begin to walk through that.
Sure.
Yeah, let's
Awesome.
then we can talk through as the pictures roll.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry for the delay there, but we had
No,
some
that's fine.
technical issues.
But the good news
In
is
another
we
part of
have
the
it.
world. Yeah.
There you go.
It's a
So here
nice
you go.
house.
You know, it's a beautiful home. It really, really is. I think someone's really gonna love it. I mean, it's everyone who has come to see it so far, they just are in awe of it. And the neighbors keep watching, you know, all the upgrades and a lot of love has been put into the home.
Yeah. And the neighbors all love you.
Yes. Actually, they've been
Absolutely.
very nice. They've lent us water when we had no water in the house because toilets, you know, we had to, you know, tear everything out and they needed, the contractors needed concrete to mix, you know, water with
Mhm.
water to mix the concrete with and so forth. So they've been very helpful.
All right.
Okay.
We've been lucky.
We have the PowerPoints up. Where would you like me to go, Lila?
Okay, so here's
Well,
the
okay, so
before.
that's the original. That's the house the way it looks like originally, with the original roof. You know, there's the soffits. There were areas underneath the roof that the soffits were torn. So we can just move through and keep going to the next slide. Yes. So in that picture there, you can see to the left, there's that big tree that's actually overhanging the electrical panel there and encumbering some of the wires, the electrical wires that are coming out from the main pole. You know, in the beginning, we thought those windows were not functional. They were just plyboard that was put up to protect the windows, I guess, during hurricane, and they never took them down. The owner that was living there, the daughter, had a cat and dog in the home, and I can't even explain how bad the smell was. Even during the home inspection, you could only stay there like seconds and just you know, go through. So there was just a lot of overgrown trees and trees also that had fungus on them and so forth that we had to just cut down. So, okay, so you can, it's hard to see, but you in the left side, right under the opening of the front entry door, there was a massive, massive hole underneath that you could see right straight to the roof. And then to the left side of the picture, where the point is at the bottom, you can see like a little hole there. And that was another area that was massive, that was broken and we had to get repaired. Yeah, so the windows, you know, we knew from the very beginning, we took all the screens out because they're torn. We knew from the beginning that the windows were just not in the budget. You know, there were certain things we looked at because the main things needed to be done in this home, which was roofing, AC, electrical, plumbing, bathrooms. That was an area we decided we were not going to do. So the windows were touched up and the home was painted and cleaned, and so they look much better now. And we've replaced the side panels there, the shutters. Yeah, so that's one of the areas where you could see it's broken.
So you had to replace soffitting as well?
Yeah,
around the
so
house?
yeah, so the roofer, we had them fix the areas that were broken and replace those areas, and then the rest was okay. So we were able to, it's
Okay.
wood soffits underneath.
Okay.
So all those trees were now removed.
What did you have to spend on the tree removal and yard cleanup, Lila?
Well, we did a lot of yard cleanup ourselves. I mean, it was a lot of laborious work, but we spent $1,700 for them to remove all of the trees. They did not grind the trees. They just left them down to the bare stumps. So they removed I want to say at least 7 to 10 trees they must have removed, you know, so there was a lot that was done. And there was a major concrete slab too that was tilted. It was like leaning, and we had to have that removed and broken up. And actually the tree guys helped us break the slab and didn't charge us. They were really nice. We've been very fortunate with contractors. Everyone has been very helpful.
Good, good. Yeah, you had a lot
So
of
in these
drywall,
pictures,
and did you have to have mold remediation?
So we didn't have to have mold remediation. We did have a company come out, but it was more like water discoloration. And so we had the actual sheetrock. All the sheetrock was removed, and there was lots of bleach thrown to make sure that we used like pool bleach and to treat the areas just to make sure, just in case there was anything growing there. But there wasn't. It was basically due to the leak itself. And so everything was fine, and we had it tested and everything was good.
Okay.
And then you could see the original cooling system there. That was the original air conditioning unit. And you can see right to the right side of that you have the actual entertainment center, and that's what was removed because that was
Yeah.
leaking. That wall behind the AC was actually leaking.
Did you keep the AC there or did you move it out?
We did. I think if we had had it in the budget, it would have cost. I spoke with the AC person and company, and it probably would have cost another $1,500 to have it moved into the laundry area.
Yeah.
And that would have been a great option because had we done that, we could have also enlarged the other bathroom, which would have made a difference. But you know, due to cost and everything, we just kept it where it was at.
Right. Right.
And that was
Okay.
the roofing company we use. And actually, they were really amazing. They came out the same day. They did the roof in one day.
Whoa.
Yep. They were out there 6 o'clock in the morning. And by, I think, 6 p.m. in the evening, they were done.
Do
They
you
were done.
remember what I always want to keep up with the cost of roofing these days because it changes. How much
Yes.
per square did you pay and overall what was your?
I don't remember what it was per square, but we paid right around 11,000 for the roof replacement.
Did you have a lot of plywood replacement?
Yes, we must have had, I think they had to do the whole decking of the part where the Florida room was at. We must have had at least, I think they said over, I think almost 40, at least maybe 30 to 40 pieces of plywood, I think.
Okay, and those are generally $15 a piece or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly on the number how many, but there were a lot. They had to replace a lot. They told.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have it on the roof. I think on the estimate, but it was one of the things we negotiated on. We had like 4 or 5 different roofers come out, and you know, in the beginning, there are certain things because as newbies, you just assume that it's going to be part of the roof repair. For example, the soffits.
No.
You know, you just assume that the soffits is part of the roof estimate. You just assume that the fascia is part of the roof estimate. So when you're getting a roof estimate, you're looking and say, okay, well, you're just thinking all of that's going to be done. And so as I think by the time we got to a third estimate, we start getting more savvy and asking more questions. And then we found out, oh, the soffit is actually additional cost, and so is the fascia. And so at that point, we were now asking for an estimate that was going to include everything. So
Right.
originally, we were going to have this company replace all of the soffit, but again, due to budget, and also I was, you know, it wasn't going to be a vinyl. And I said, if we're going to pay for replacement of the soffit, then I would prefer for it to be vinyl. And if it's
Right.
not going to be vinyl, then it doesn't make any sense. We might as well just repair the portion that has been broken, you know, and put new plywood there and fix that, and then paint the rest.
Right.
It wasn't going to
Right.
be cost effective.
Yeah. Let's go back to the windows. You didn't replace any windows, but you were able to fix the framing so you didn't have the leaks anymore and you just repaired windows that
Yes.
needed repair.
Yes, correct.
Okay,
Mhm.
good. Did you make any floor plan change? Well, I know you expanded the master shower and the bathroom. Any other changes that you made?
So, I mean, the master bathroom is probably the only structural
Okay.
thing that we have done in the home. Everything else has been pretty much stayed the same. We've repainted in the home. We've removed all the tiling that was in the Florida room, in the kitchen. So all brand new flooring is going down. There's going to be one flooring that goes throughout the whole house to make it look
Great.
cohesive. Mhm.
So in these pictures, this, the one on the left is your original room and the one on the right is the addition. Is that correct?
So the one with the beams is the living room as you enter into the home.
Okay,
The
lovely.
one on the right, actually all three windows, all three pictures are now of the same room, which is the Florida room. That's the room where they kept the animals in.
Okay. Nice, looks nice. Okay, and that was the original.
That was the original
dining room.
entertainment center that was removed.
Mhm.
That is a built-in buffet in the dining area, and I stated we were going to keep that and paint that. I thought it was a nice feature.
Mhm.
So there you can
That's
see
where
the
you took
entertainment
out the
center has been
entertainment
removed
room?
there.
Yeah. Okay. When we get to the kitchen, oh, okay, this is where you fix the hole in the roof?
Yes,
that in
that's
the
that's in the
bedroom?
middle of the roofing repair. They removed the plywood and they were making all the necessary repairs that they needed to do for the roof.
Right.
And that's the buffet that was being painted.
Is that a porch or the enclosed porch
No,
area?
that's the dining area where we saw before. That was the buffet.
Oh, okay,
Hmm.
nice.
That's the painter there. That's the original. That's the master shower, the original.
The before, okay.
And that's the before of the hallway bathroom. So that is the master shower. It's actually done now, but that was in the process of it getting done. So we put in a seat in there, and we put a
Nice.
niche in the shower.
And do you have the low curb or a walk-in, or how did you do that?
It's a walk-in shower.
Great,
Yes.
great. So it's
We,
accessible.
they can put a glass. I mean, if it were my home, if I were to keep, not that I'm keeping home, but I'm just saying if I were to live in the home, I would probably enclose half of it. I wouldn't put I don't think a full glass door. I'd do a half panel there to the right because it's so deep that you would be fine with that. So that would be an option, or you could enclose it completely with the glass. But again, we left that for the buyers for them to decide. And
Right,
again, that's another
a
picture
cost that you don't
panoramic.
have to.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's the
now,
kitchen.
is this really curved or is that a
No,
wide
that's just
angle
a
illusion?
panoramic shot.
Okay.
So it kind of gives you the feeling that it's curved, but it's not. It's just straight L shape there.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's a pretty good sized kitchen,
It
actually.
is a good sized kitchen. That is an area that they enlarged. So it's a nice kitchen. Originally, the plans were, I wanted to put an island in the middle. I thought that would be a nice feature because there's room there. But again, due to budget constraints, I said, okay, that's one of the things that went.
Okay. And this is what? The bedroom?
That is the bedroom. That was the bedroom where there was a leak in. And so all of that has all the sheetrock, everything has been taken out and been replaced there.
Okay. Good. So you bought this to flip it.
That's what the house looks like now. So now the house is painted.
It looks,
We did some
yeah, it's turning
landscaping.
out great.
Thank you.
Really nice. So I saw in the enclosed that porch that it had a window AC. It doesn't have a window AC
No,
anymore,
we put
correct?
new AC in that Florida room. We were able to have a ductwork thrown into the room. So
Extended,
now it's
okay.
under air. And we put a brand new door. That's a new door that was put in because there was water seeping in when it would rain. It was just in bad condition. So that's all been replaced. And that's a
Right,
new air
okay.
conditioning unit. It's a 3.5 ton AC there.
Yeah, it looks very nice, yeah. So you're still flipping it, I presume, is that correct?
Yes, we're hoping to, flooring goes in on Monday. We hope by Wednesday flooring is completed. We're now at the point of putting in knobs and final, ceiling fans and, those type of details that we're also touching up the staining on the cabinets. So that's happening this weekend.
I don't know if you said, are you changing the countertops?
We put in granite.
Granite,
Yes.
okay.
Do you have any pictures of the new kitchen or with the granite or no?
The only one is that wide angle picture.
Oh, okay. I had sent some additional pictures. And you could see the two bathrooms that were done. The beams were painted gray.
Oh, okay.
There's some great after pictures.
Claudette, are those the cloud pictures?
I'm not sure. Harlan's got the videos. Lila, did you want him to, sorry, I was late.
No, that's,
Did you want him to run the videos?
yeah, that's fine because I think you'll see some of the after shots there, which are really nice.
Coming up,
Okay, all right.
maybe.
Okay. So
It's
while we're
been
waiting
a lot
for
of
the
work.
pictures, to come up, what did you finally end up spending on your repairs?
I think we are close to a $55,000 budget right now. That's what we're
Okay,
at.
so you stayed in your margin.
Yes,
Good.
there, like I said, there are certain things that we just originally, thought that we were going to do. I mean, for example, the electrical, we had estimated 3,500 and it actually was around 4,500. So it wasn't too far off.
Yeah,
But we
not
also
too bad.
interviewed and looked for certain contractors that we felt were going to work with us and were going to be, fair in price.
Right.
And the same thing with, I have a, really good floor and tile person. The painter has been amazing. I mean, he's done so much work in the home. He's been touching things up and he does additional stuff. But so we've been very lucky that way. We've had a lot of work on.
Good. Okay,
Yeah.
let's
Okay, Diane, we got a couple of questions for Lila.
Okay.
By the way, Lila, you did a super job, man. It's a really nice job, especially for your
you.
first one.
yeah.
Thank you.
I know when you get into it, there's a lot of, oh my gosh, I didn't figure that.
Yes.
And so there's a lot of experience that you got off this first one, but being able to stay within your budget was just awesome.
Thank you.
I got a couple
Thank
of
you for your
questions.
help, John, too. I've reached out to you once or twice, so thank you.
A couple of questions. Somebody is asking, what was your cost for your new AC, and did they just do the unit, or did they have to reduct as well?
So they didn't reduct because he went up into the attic and the duct work was fine.
Good.
I don't know if that's correct ducting, but the
Yeah,
duct
that's
work
right.
was correct. So we put in a he did have to throw new duct work though into the Florida room.
Right.
So the total cost was around 5,600.
Okay. Well, that's a good price.
Yeah, he gave us a good
Wow.
price, and it's 3.5 tons.
Okay. And then you said you put your flooring. Is that the vinyl planking that you put in
Yep,
throughout?
we're putting vinyl plank floors in. And we actually found a liquidator that sells the same flooring from a major manufacturer, and we were able to get it at half the price. So that was a savings right there because we had estimated more for flooring. So we were able to save on that and apply it to some other areas where we had some, surprise costs. Or for more labor,
And then you found somebody to install it?
Yes, the tile guy that I have, he actually does the bathroom tiles and flooring. So he just finished the bath. I really hope we have of the bathrooms. You guys would be so impressed with the bathrooms. So They really came out nicely. And he's going to be putting the flooring down on Wednesday.
So what did you wind up? What did you wind up on your cost for your flooring?
So I think for the flooring, we've estimated for the whole house. We got it for like $1.09 a square foot.
That's installed?
No, that's just
No.
material.
Yeah, so that's, I need to get hold of your contractor. If you get that installed, that's a good price.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's $1.09 square foot. I think installation for vinyl plank is somewhere around a little less than $1.50 a square foot.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's good. And then your kitchen, now you put granite, you put new cabinets in and granite. You
We
use
didn't
the
put new
same.
cabinets in. The cabinets, we knew from the beginning we were not going to replace them.
Okay,
But what we're doing is I'm having the painter kind of restain them. So he's
Okay.
sanding them down. We start, so originally we thought we could just get like one of those little markers and touch up the cabinets and so
Yeah.
forth. And we were advised to do that. But when they removed the existing Formica countertop from the kitchen counter,
uh-huh,
there was some damage to the cabinet, and it's something that couldn't be avoided because they had glued it down. So it was, really difficult to remove. And then some of the doors, as you got close to them, really close up, you realize, oh, these doors are not in this condition. So meaning scratches, because I think because of the animals, so forth. So we just, at this point, the painter is there today and he's sanding down all the cabinets. And so I decided, well, we're going to sand them and we're going to have to restain them. We might as well go with a little deeper color because it kind of had like that red tone to it. So
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go more in a brown tone and kind of just modernize it a little bit more.
awesome.
But the
So that's
granite, I got a great price on the granite. Granite installed was $1,400.
That is a good price.
Yeah.
It is a good price.
Yeah. So by shopping around and getting all these prices really helped us stay within within the budget, because originally I had estimated around $3,000 to $4,000 for granite.
Now, did you put the granite in the bathrooms as well? The same granite?
No.
Or just in the kitchen?
No, and here's why not. So we did get a good price for countertops for the granite. I think if we had custom granite countertops, it was going to be around $350 a countertop. So that wasn't bad. But now we got into the cabinet, and to get, a decent cabinet, it was going to cost us somewhere around let's say $700 for a cabinet. Now, $350 on top of that. That was putting us over our budget for vanities.
Yeah.
So we found 2 vanities at Lowe's with countertops, which are really nice, for $600 each.
Yeah.
Good. That's a good price.
Yeah, it still looks
Mhm.
nice. It's double sink. It looks like a quartz countertop. So they're
Mhm.
very nice and clean. And so that's what's going in.
That's good. The one more question I have here, the enlarging the shower, your budget for that master bathroom. What did that wind up costing you to do that master bathroom?
So enlarging the shower was never part of the budget.
Yeah.
It was just not, it wasn't there. It was one of those things my partner and I had to sit down and kind of say, can we make this happen? Is it worth it? Are we going to get this back? And the more we thought about it, we said, it just makes sense. It's a master shower. It's a master bedroom. He was charging us a little under $2,000 to do it. And that was reframing and, moving the pipe drain.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? I think that's a pretty good price that we're getting. We can make this work. So we decided to go for it.
Yeah, it turned out nice. And any additions or revisions like that in a bathroom, that helps sell the house, especially with the women.
Yeah.
That-
And that's what you say, the women are they're gonna come in, they're going to look at that. I mean, it was so small. And so you can walk in there and you can feel like, you know, okay, this is worth what they're asking
Yeah.
for, you know, especially,
Yeah, so you'll always get your
I mean-
money back there as long as you don't get
Yeah.
real crazy about it.
Right.
All right, well,
Yeah.
that's the questions I have. Again, you did an awesome job.
Thank
You want to
you.
go ahead and do the videos that's going to show.
Yeah,
the-
yeah, hopefully have some pictures of the bathrooms, like I said, and the beads.
Run the
they
video
get.
here and see what
Okay.
it is.
Yeah. Lila, what do you plan to sell the house for?
That's the original, that's when we first started tearing everything down. I think we're hoping to try and push to 260.
260?
Yeah, we'll see. You know, some of the comps are showing that we could be within that 245 to 260 range in there. So we'll see where it comes in at. I'm thinking we're gonna do an appraisal on the home before we put it actually on the market.
Mm-hmm.
So this way we know exactly what it's worth, and as a lender, that's good too, because you know, we just know exactly we're gonna hit the market. Does the buyer qualify? So
Right, right.
so that was when they tore everything out and everything was torn down to the bare, you know, to the studs and
Did you
and
keep the
fixed.
original doors, Lila?
We did. They were brown. And that was one of the things we decided we were not going to spend money on. They were solid wood, and we just had the painter
Right.
prime them and paint them. And we were originally going to go with knobs that were kind of like a
Mhm.
lever, but we've decided to go with the round ones because they're more cost effective right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, those are some of the things that we needed to, you know, pull back on, but at least we were able to increase the master shower, you know, and update some things in there.
Right.
Yeah, that was a good move. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did see one more
Harlan, do
question.
you have any pictures of the bathrooms or
Claudette
updated?
might, we'll let Claudette put them on if she has them. She sent things to me this morning when we're having the technical difficulties.
Okay.
If she has them.
In the meantime, Lila, we had a question from Peter. Did
Yes.
you have any issues with permitting?
No, I mean, everyone was we didn't do this project where you had a contractor, and the contractor was responsible for, you know, everyone. We were actually, you know, overseeing the subcontractors ourselves. So each contractor was responsible for pulling the permits themselves. So the electrical had to pull his permit. The roofer had to pull their permit. The only issue I think we ran into is that the roofer hadn't done business in Deltona in the last year. So he had to get like approved again to do work in the city of Deltona. So that I think took maybe a day or two to get the approval on that. But once he did, like I said, it's Fiddler Roofing, and they were in and out within the day. So they were, I recommend them. They were very professional to work with. I had no issues.
Who was your roofer? Well, if you don't mind sharing.
Fiddler Roofing.
Pardon me?
Fiddler, Fiddler.
Fiddler Roofing.
Mm-hmm.
And where are they located?
They're located in Orlando, I think Winter Park.
Okay.
They go all over, and the owner, his name is Hans, and like I said, he was great. He must have came out to the site like 2 or 3 times. Anything I had an issue on, for example, they told us they were going to start on Friday, and it was Wednesday, and we were getting some pushback that they were still waiting on the permit. And so, you know, I said to him, and then I found out that it was because they weren't approved. And I said, listen, that's not my problem. You know, when you took the job, you said you were going to start on Friday. You know, you should have had this resolved. And he was immediate. He was extremely nice. He was like, do not worry, we will be there. He was at the city of Deltona, I think, before they even opened up, waiting. And while he was waiting to get all the paperwork in place, he already had them starting to tear the roof off. So, you know, very professional. I had no problems with them.
Well, that's good. You got to stay on top of them. Don't let them give you a bunch of excuses. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the way to go, girl.
The
Yeah.
only, the only thing that I've recognized at this point is certain things, like when you're dealing with the contractors. I mean, it might seem like silly things that you might not think of, but you're like, I'm paying you. It doesn't include for me to clean up after you, right? You are going to remove your own garbage, correct? I mean, things like that I've had to encounter, and I'm like, no, you cleaned it, you did this repair, you need to come back, you need to clean this, we can't be on top of you having to clean up after you and so forth. The amount of dumpsters, I think we anticipated 1, and we needed at least 2. My partner did not want to go for a second dumpster, so she's been putting everything in her truck and hauling it to the to the site.
Cheaper to get a dumpster.
Yeah, it's much
Well,
cheaper to get
that's what
dumpsters.
I said. So I said, okay, well, I'm not engaging in that. Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
My
What-
part, I'm willing to pay for the dumpster. I'm not willing to load up all the garbage.
Yeah.
Did you, does,
No.
the city of Daytona, does they ask for a permit for remodeling?
The interior, because we weren't doing anything major structurally or anything like that, it was not required.
Really?
It's the contractor, yeah.
Wow, you got lucky
Yeah,
there.
there are times you get caught
There are
even with the
times.
bathroom.
You got lucky, yeah.
Really? Okay.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I got caught, my last one I did, I got caught, and they when I told him, oh, do you got a permit for the remodeling? He said, what do you mean? I need a permit for the changing the kitchen cabinets? Are you gonna put new cabinets? Yes. Are you putting a new faucet? Yes. So you need a permit. Even for the dumpster. Even for the dumpster in front
I
of
know
house.
for the dumpster, that was taken care of when we ordered it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Well,
Great.
the contractor, we hired the contractor on that, so I'll have to go back to him on that. But I know for the front door, we left the front door. We were originally thinking of replacing the front door. And we were told we were going to need a permit for that.
Yeah.
And that was going to be an additional cost. So by the time you add up the door, by the time you add up installation and the permit on top of it, we said, we're just painting the door.
Yeah.
And just painting it. Let's sand it down and just paint it and put some, new
Yeah.
handle on it. So.
Lila, is knowing what you know now, is there anything that you would do differently if you were starting over with this project?
Yeah, I think project management is key. I think going in, and even when you're speaking with the contractors, having clarity of what you expect out of the project, how you envision it. And if at any time, there are any questions, they need to stop and consult with you as opposed to maybe just going on with something. So I think that's key. I think the management of who's starting what project, and the first week we must have had all hands on. And that was very overwhelming, very confusing. Plus, we were also getting estimates at the same time. So I think I would slow the process down a little bit. I mean, we really wanted to hit our target in terms of getting this house on the market prior to Thanksgiving and trying to get it sold, before the end of the year. God willing, that'll happen. But for the next project, I think at least estimating a good 2 months or more would probably be the sane way to go, because it's been very overwhelming. We've been there almost every single day, hands-on managing, and plus I have my own business with with the mortgages and so forth. So I think in that aspect, I would probably have a longer time span to do the project so that you could balance life out a little bit. And I think organizing when you're getting your estimates so it doesn't get overwhelming. Who's coming in for the roof, who's coming in for that, on specific days, kind of controlling the timeline and who's going to come in to fix what first, and definitely having the painter come in last versus first.
So you've learned a lot about scheduling.
Yes.
For sure. And a lot about what to include in. Do you write your own contract that they sign, or do you sign their contracts?
I've been signing their contracts. Yeah. So I haven't,
There are
thought
some
about
that write
doing
their
our
own contracts and put in all the little specifications that you talked about, like clean up for the roof afterwards.
And I
things
think
like
those
that.
are going to
Make sure
be
it's all
things in the
covered.
future. Yes, definitely. That, you know, are going, I mean, I did have one, the only, you know, I ran the contractor that we had, he had an individual that was working with him. And unfortunately, when they were doing drywalls, you know, he wasn't just doing it as it should. You could just see a lot of errors. I mean, I had drywall hands, like, and I called him back and I said, you know, it's unacceptable. You need to, and he was very good about that. He let the individual go. The individual is no longer working with him, and he came back to the home because we closed the in the Florida room. If you look at the original pictures, you will see there's like a little ledge overhanging in the wall on the upper part, and that was uplighting in there that they had.
Okay, yeah.
So what we did was we removed the uplighting. I had the electrician remove that, close off the circuit, and that's where the ductwork went in. And then they had to close it like a box. So he was there the other day, and he must have spent, you know, a whole day just making sure of all the errors were corrected. So I appreciated that he at least honored what he was supposed to do. So
okay.
Good.
And
Diane,
I
we've got
guess
about, yep, 8 minutes to go here just to close out by 10, but this has been good today.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
oh, thank you.
I have one more question. I guess go ahead, Claudette. Do you have something first?
I was just gonna say, Lila, I apologize. I have looked through all my emails and I cannot find those pictures that you're referring to, and so my apologies to you.
Oh, no
Technical things go
worries,
on
no
today.
worries. I don't know if I'm able to do anything on my end, but I don't, I mean,
Yeah, you can try to share your screen if you have them up on your computer. All you do is you go down to the bottom and hit share. You click share screen, and then a picture will pop up, and then you can
oh,
just
okay, all right.
tap on the.
Let's see, I'm gonna try to, okay, so I do share, okay, let me find my folder.
Hey guys, while Lila finds her photos, just a quick comment. There's an app for project management. It's called Asana. Asana.
Okay.
You dedicate, like, let's say like an hour and a
Yes.
half at the beginning of the project, scheduling everything. But then it's a little, you know, at the beginning it was kind of boring for me. But then if it kind of eased the project along the way, right? So
Great. Thanks,
I got
Peter.
this call. I got to leave.
Thank
So
you.
guys,
Good
thank
to
you
see
so
you,
much
Peter.
again for the invitation.
Thank you, Peter.
John, Diane, so that have a
Take
good one.
care.
Bless.
Thank you.
And you
This is
too.
one of the bathrooms here. Are
Yes,
you able
oh,
to
it
see
turned
it?
out great.
Nice.
Okay, that's the master
Nice.
shower.
Wow.
Looks
So you
really
can
nice.
see that there's a seat in there and there's a niche.
Beautiful.
Okay, let me see if I can get to the other one. This is the other bathroom right now. That was done.
It's wild tile.
And yes, huh?
It's kind of nice that the
Marvelous.
tile.
Right.
Yes, yes. And let me see if I can get, give me 1 second. Let me see if I could put this picture on there so you can see what the,
Might have some other comments or questions from people, Diane, just verbally, if they'd unmute and ask them. No.
okay, I think I got another picture. Let's see here. Let's see this.
Yeah, Claudette commented that sometimes you can find Habitat for Humanity that sells vanities too, that you can
Oh,
work
okay.
into your project, and they're at a very low price.
That's good to know.
John
good
wanted
to
to know
know.
again, what was the app? Was Asana, Peter?
Asana.
Asana.
Can you see this picture with the beams?
No, you'd have to unshare and then share that one.
I'm still on the shower.
unshare the shower. Okay. Unshare the shower.
Yeah,
Can I ask a question or whenever you want?
Dude, yep.
sure.
Yes. Oh, so I have to go to.
I just wonder what was the reason that you didn't find that the property is in flood zone? It wasn't listed in
That's-
MLS?
In the flood zone.
The prop is, so no, it was not. It was not listed on the MLS. That's why we were able to negotiate with them. Because it wasn't disclosed. Mhm. Yeah. So this is the beams. We painted them gray in here.
Nice.
And then were you able to see the other bathroom?
No,
Okay, this is the other one. Are you able to see this one?
Not yet.
not yet.
Okay, let's see. Okay, share screen.
So while you're getting ready for that, Lila, we do have Phil George is our speaker in December, that first Monday in December for our general meeting. Phil's a multifamily
Yeah.
guy, runs the multifamily or the commercial group for CFRI. Got 20 some years of experience working on a big project up in New York State right now.
Mhm.
Very knowledgeable,
Wow.
very helpful. So Phil's doing multifamily in December, that first Monday night, 7 o'clock. Is that right? Is it 7 o'clock?
6:30?
6:30. 6:30, you're right. 6:30.
Yeah, that'll be a good meeting. Yeah. I have one more question for Lila after you get your screen thing done.
Okay,
Oh,
are you?
there's the other one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good.
there goes the other one. That's the other back.
Nice, nice. Looks good.
Yeah, so those are
What
some
was
of
your-
the updates.
Yeah. Lila, can you share your all-in cost? You paid 130, you had about 55 in repairs and your closing costs and holding costs and everything. What are you going to be all in?
I
when
think
you
right
get finished?
under, we should be right under 2, I would think.
At about 2.
Yeah.
And you're going to sell it at 260. And will your partner get
Yeah,
commission
so we
on that
bought it
one?
at 130. Let me see, we have 130, 55,000. That's 185, and then plus holding costs and closing. So we might be all in, I'd say maybe between 205 and 210, to be honest.
Okay, that's with your buying and selling closing costs?
Buying, selling, and
Financing.
commission.
I assume you had
Realtor
an in with
commission
the
on the
lender,
buyer's
right?
end. Excuse me?
You had an in with the lender?
Yeah.
I
kind of
assume
a
you had
little
an in
bit,
with
yeah.
your lender?
A little bit
Right.
with the lender, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Good, okay.
Yeah.
Real-
You know
real
what,
good.
the fix and flip loan, it's that's how I financed it. You know, it was great because it was a seamless process. They gave me 100% of the rehab value and 90% of the financing on the purchase part. You
That's
do have to have
wonderful.
your own liquid funds so that you can start the project, but then you actually just, you know, you do your drawers and you get the funds back. So
You get
it allows you to
reimbursed.
leverage, it allows you a leverage so you're not utilizing all your funds.
Right.
And our first payment is in December and we closed in October. So
Okay,
we're
so the
hoping that by
payments were all
December we
delayed.
can make one payment and have the home sold.
So you have 60 days to make your first payment?
Kind of, you know, when you close on a home, depending on when you close in that month, you don't make the first payment the following month, you make it the next. So it's almost 45 to 60 days, depending on the day that you close.
Right. So it
So it
just
buys
worked
you a little
out
time
well.
because as soon as we closed, we were in there the next day. We rented a chipper from Home Depot, and my son spent 2 days just chipping away at the tiles
Great,
and get everything done.
perfect. Well, you did a wonderful job, and
So,
being your first project,
you.
you jumped right into the fire and got all kinds of
Yes, we
things
have.
that
Yes,
that
we
others
have.
might shy away from. So good for you. You
Thank
learned
you.
a lot, and you did a great job.
Thank you. Thank you. We're hoping our next one to maybe start in February. Take a little break.
Yeah, and the way things are selling these days, I expect it's going to be sold in days, probably, right?
I hope so, Diane. I hope
Yeah.
so. We show up every morning. We just look at each other and we're like, okay, let's get this going. And a lot has to do because we've taken on a lot of the labor ourselves. And those were things that going forward, projecting the cost on certain things is now like, okay, well, if we really need to do a lot of laborious landscaping work, we need to budget for that. We need to, because it takes a toll on you. So
Right.
those are the types of things that going forward, you're looking at it with a different eye, and the home inspection with a different eye. Like now, I can literally say, let's unscrew your wall plate and let's pull that plug out and let me see if you have copper or aluminum wiring in there,
Yeah, we learn.
Lila,
Lila,
you
thank
did
you
it.
so much.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Lila, you
Thank
did
you,
it.
everybody,
You did
for
it.
joining us.
Yeah, Lila, you did an awesome job, and we certainly
John.
appreciate you sharing this with us. I
Thank
think
you.
I speak for everybody online
you.
here. We really picked up a lot of good points from you, and
Thank
you did an awesome
Appreciate it.
job. So thank you so very much.
Well, thank you guys. You guys have been, amazing. And I've reached out to Harland. I've reached out to John, and they've given me some advice throughout this project. So I really appreciate it. It's a good support system.
Good. Great.
Listen,
great.
John.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Claudette and Diane. You've been amazing also.
John,
Yeah.
listen, the show this will show my being naive. What is aluminum con?
Aluminum
It's a
con?
connector that connects the copper to the aluminum to
It's
prevent
like
fire.
it's a legal way of transferring
Oh, I see. Okay,
aluminum
Yeah.
wiring to the copper wiring to be able to use that.
aluminum. Okay,
Right.
and another
It
question.
prevents the
And
fire.
each of
how-
them are almost $3.
For each one.
Yeah. So when you need a lot of them, you could be at $300-$400 easily.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
still a lot cheaper than
A lot
rewiring.
cheaper than
Oh, yeah.
rewiring.
And then
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Asana, what is it used for? I didn't quite get it. The spelling in Asana.
Project management.
It's a software program, an app.
An app software program. Okay,
Right.
thank you.
Okay,
Very
well,
good. Very good. Thank you. The whole thing was good.
Excellent.
Awesome.
All right, Mr.
Glad to see
Harlan.
all of you. Happy Thanksgiving,
Yeah,
everybody.
happy.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Yeah.
The
Good to see
recording
all
will
of
be
you.
up probably this afternoon, so, yep.
Okay.
Thanks,
Okay.
Harlan.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Lila.
you. Take care.
Thank you.
Happy
Take
Thanksgiving.
care.
Stay safe.
Happy
Bye-bye.
Thanksgiving,
Okay.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.